is a very special edition for SBI CBO and one of our most popular session of banking and widely accepted, widely used circular gists rather. So today we have so many things to discuss apart from RBI circulars because the developments that happened in the month of October are very less. So we will be discussing RBI circulars and related contents in this month to make this class useful for all your upcoming exams. So SBI CBO aspirants, upcoming RBI grade B aspirants, internal promotion aspirants, and the aspirants, the promotional aspirants from RBI, be ready for the mega session. And if you want to join a dedicated course, the link is there in the in the description. All the regular classes will be taken at 10 o'clock, so stay connected. This one is the most useful and most popular session, so we are taking it in a YouTube so that all of you get access to this session. But on today's show, we will have the general circulars that we discuss every month, similar contents, similar top MCQs. Apart from that, we have something related to integrated ombudsman MCQs because they talk about integrated ombudsman in a certain circular, so we have some related circulars. Okay, then NCGTC MCQs because it is related, and one bonus content related to partial credit guarantee scheme. Okay, so any issue, anything, you please ping us post the class. You will be added to the group. Being it 1st November, I know there are hundreds of students who joined the course today. Our IT is working very hard to enroll everyone to batch and to add the group. So we are taking time to process, but before 10 o'clock, our team will process it. So please, yes, Ram everyone. So today's show, without wasting time, let's begin. RBI introduces internal ombudsman mechanism for credit information companies. So as far, so far, the integrated ombudsman scheme or the internal ombudsman scheme was for in 2018 it was introduced for banks. In 2021 it is introduced to NBFCs. Now the time for internal ombudsman in CICs, credit information companies. So you understand from this very circular that the credit information companies are becoming integral part of our financial system. So that's why now the internal ombudsman took over CICs. What is internal ombudsman scheme? Before the internal ombudsman scheme, there was certain mechanism to address customer grievances inside the bank. That was known as customers chief service officer, CSO rather. So that was there before integrated ombudsman scheme. But now it's an internal ombudsman scheme. There are two IOs. Nowadays we are getting confused. IO means integrated ombudsman, and similarly internal ombudsman scheme. In 2006 there was the banking ombudsman scheme was launched, then the NBFC ombudsman scheme, then came the digital payments ombudsman scheme, payment and settlement through the Payment and Settlement Act. But they integrated everything in 2021, and also they launched additional IO that is called internal ombudsman in the year 2018, because the number of complaints the integrated ombudsman is getting or the banking ombudsman at RBI is getting is very higher. So the bandwidth of Reserve Bank of India is limited, being a regulatory body. So the RBI wants banks or NBFCs or CICs, the credit information companies, asked to go through the cases of ombudsman cases by themselves. They should have a internal mechanism to address the customer grievances. When they fail to address, or customer is not satisfied with the answer or with the resolution provided by the internal ombudsman, customer should refer to the integrated ombudsman or banking ombudsman for that matter. There is nothing called banking ombudsman after the launch of integrated ombudsman. There is one ombudsman scheme for all financial needs. Okay, is it clear to everyone? बहुत सारे लोग देख रहे हैं हमें, so please give a thumbs up. The way we discuss the RBI circular gist, nowhere else is discussed. But looking at us, many people have started taking these classes, but they are still to be at par with us. So I need your motivation. Just give a thumbs up, share with your colleagues, internal promotion groups, and give a thumbs up, subscribe. So I hope you will do your bit. So I will start my session. So to enhance the effectiveness of the grievances redressal system, the RBI has urged credit information companies to designate an internal ombudsman by April 1, 2023. Okay, and remember, when banks appoint the internal ombudsman, the person who is appointed as an internal ombudsman should not be above 70 years of age, should not have worked in the same bank. Okay, should be minimum of a deputy general manager cadre grade. He could be a serving employee or could be a retired employee, but should not have any connection with the bank where he is getting appointed. These are not on the paper, these are not on the screen, but I am telling to you because they ask these kind of things in exam. I have MCQs to follow. So only complaint that are related to CIC has already reviewed but rejected in whole or in part will be handled by the IO. Direct complaints from complainants or members of the public would not handled by it, the RBI said in a circular on October 6, 2022. Clear? So there are so many people having so many questions to ask to CIBIL because due to bad civil score, nowadays people are losing their job. People are losing their marriage proposals. When I was working 10 years back in a private bank, in India's number one private bank, so there is a Infosys madam came to my branch and asked me, sir, can I get this credit information report of one of my friends? I said, why? Because I want to marry him. So before that, I need to check his civil. So uh, what is the level of awareness these credit information companies are getting among the public? Okay, so people are nowadays searching this the credit information of their would be's. So one bad credit score or a bad remark or a wrong remark could lose customers' marriage prospects on a lighter note, and the prospects of getting a loan, prospects of a good fortune, because if he doesn't get a loan at a time of need, there could be medical emergencies, etc. So he may lose so many things. So you could have grievances, you could have a lot of grievances against these credit information companies, right? So for that, you can directly complain to RBI, because as per integrated ombudsman scheme, things related to bank, NBFCs, finance, payment and settlement could be referred to integrated ombudsman scheme, and they have merged all these physical counters. Earlier, there are 21 centers of Reserve Bank of India where the ombudsman schemes were handled. Now they have made it online and everything could be handled from one office, that is from Chandigarh, right? So CIC's complaints to go to the should go to the RBI only after the internal ombudsman failed to provide a resolution. Okay. Yes. The central bank made the decision in August to include CICs in the scope of Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021 in order to broaden its appeal. The RBI claimed that the action would give clients of regulated business in a free alternative dispute resolution method for a complaint regarding CICs. The IO position cannot at any moment be left unfilled. Hence, the CIC must make sure that the CIC should at any cost appoint an internal ombudsman every time. At any point of time, there should not be ऑन फील्ड पोजीशंस. ठीक है, किसी ने रिटायर्ड कर लिया, किसी ने क्विट कर लिया, तो आपको रेडी रखना होगा इंटीग्रेटेड ombudsman scheme. You will appoint on behalf of him. So at no point of time the integrated ombudsman position should be filled vacant. Okay, so I will urge many DGMs, those who are retired or serving, there are so many vacancies coming of integrated ombudsman scheme in banks. One bank, one vacancy, but there are vacancies are coming. So possibly we will produce some internal ombudsman aspirants in coming days. Okay. So the IO shall either be retired or a serving officer, not below the rank of DGM, which I already told, or equivalent to any financial sector, and he must be worked in a bank, regulatory body, CIC, NBFC, etc. The IO shall previously not have been employed or not nor presently being working at that particular CIC. CIC means Credit Information Company. The IO here internal ombudsman. Also, IO refers to integrated ombudsman scheme. I'm telling it twice, so please get informed. Okay. So yes, so more than 100 people watching. So why don't you people like it? The IO shall not again the age of 70 before completion of prescribed term. The age limit is 70. It is for all, for all internal ombudsman scheme, be it bank, be it NBFC, be it CIC. The internal ombudsman will, in accordance with the circular, report administratively to the MD or CEO of the bank, CEO of the CIC. What is CIC? It is credit info. What are the CICs? Credit information companies that are in India or approved by RBI. CIBIL, Equifax, Experian, CRIF Highmark Information Services Limited have been granted certificate of registration by RBI. These are granted certificate of registration from RBI. In terms of Section 15 of these Credit Information Companies Act 2005, every credit institution shall become member of at least one CIC. Further, Section 17 of CICRA stipulates that a CIC may seek and obtain credit information from its members only. So please be noted with these two acts. Okay, CIC Regulation Act and okay, CIC Regulation Act under Section 17. At any point of time, the NBFCs or banks should be a member of a CIC, should be at least a member of one CIC. Okay. Amounts received as claims from credit guarantee company to be exempted from CRR and SLR. You know what is credit guarantee companies? We have NCGTC, we have CGTMSC. So these are credit guarantee companies. Inside our application, we have covered a specific class and MCQ on CGTMSC and NCGTC. Please do refer that. Okay, so the amount that banks are getting nowadays, there are so many government schemes we are running at the bank, and the government sponsored schemes are very high rate of non NPA, right? So why banks still finance in government sponsored schemes? Because most of the government sponsored schemes carry more, not most, all the government sponsored schemes carry one or other credit guarantee by the government, and where there is a credit guarantee from the government or from anybody for that matter, like CGTMSC and NCGTC, the risk weighted asset of that particular loan is zero, or to the extent of the coverage provided. Like if CGTMSC is giving 85% of coverage, then the risk weighted asset will be on the left amount, on the rest 15% amount. And looking into the portfolio, it will be the RWA is to be calculated. Okay, be it if it is a home loan, there is separate rate for risk weighted assets. Risk weighted assets are part of Basel. So in Basel class, you will find it in detail. Okay, clear? So CRR and SLR, there are very tight norms. So that's why it is said that banking is a highly regulated business in India. And in two ways, banks are squeezed. Their profitability is squeezed. How? There are two things that squeeze banks' profitability in India. The first one is the CRR and SLR, that is the reserve requirements. So that means if you get rupees 100 from your from your creditors, that means from your depositors, you cannot lend the entire amount. 4% like CRR, whatever the percentage is, you have to keep it in CRR and in reserve bank, like in a current account in reserve bank, and you will be getting 0% interest on that. Okay, so that amount cannot be used for further lending or investment. And then SLR. In SLR, you can buy the government securities. Government securities offer a a limited return. Okay, they are not, they don't give you high returns like your advanced portfolio may give you. So the reserve ratios squeeze your limits to finance up to 100% of the amount collected from depositor. Then comes the priority sector lending, where up to 40% of your 40% of your ANBC, adjusted net bank credit, or credit equivalent to off balance sheet exposure, you need to give it to the priority sector. And in from the priority sector, you don't earn a lot of interest, right? So you are squeezed. The banks are squeezed. So banking in India is a highly regulated business, right? It's Bramming voice, sir. Is there any issue in my voice quality for to anyone? Because Surana is saying something. Yes. So, so now Reserve Bank of India has given a breather to banks that the amount that is collected from the credit guarantee corporations in terms of credit claim, in terms of claim on the default, are not to be calculated for the purpose of CRR and SLR. So on what basis banks keep their CRR and SLR? They keep on basis of their NDTL. What is NDTL? Please tell me. Net demand and time liabilities. Okay, so RBI in its circular dated on some particular date in October, which is not important for us, notified that amount received from NCGTC towards the claim in respect of guarantees invoked and held by the pending adjustment of the same to not be calculated under the computation of NDTL. Hence, it is uh, removed from the uh, CRR and SLR requirement. Okay. Currently, there are credit guarantee trust funds, including emergency credit line guarantee scheme, loan guarantee scheme for COVID affected sectors, credit guarantee scheme for MFIs, microfinance institutions, credit guarantee fund for micro unit, and credit guarantee fund for education loans under the trusteeship of NCGTC. What is the other institution or the counterpart for NCGTC? That is CGTMSE. Okay. Credit guarantee programs are designed to share the lending risk of lenders and in turn facilitate access to finance for prospective borrowers. Now, RBI tweaks new rules for banks to manage foreign currency exposures. So RBI tweaked some of its guidelines for banks to manage foreign currency exposure in an attempt to reduce the risk of unhedged exposure on the banking system during extreme volatility in forex markets. So you know, after the Ukraine war, the forex market is highly volatile. The dollar index is getting stronger and stronger. Thus, it is weakening the currencies throughout the world. The euro is weakening, the rupee is weakening, the yen is weakening, the Chinese renminbi is weakening. So all other currencies other than dollar is weakening on that. So if you have an unhedged portfolio that is not hedged, what is hedging? Hedging is engaging in derivative contracts in order to protect your original portfolio. So, or entering into a counter contract in order to hedge, in order to safeguard your original portfolio. That is a risk management tool. Like if you have bought 1000 shares of ICICI Bank and you feel that the ICICI Bank share is going to lose its momentum in coming days, or it is going to shrink, it is going to come down. So what you do hedging. How you do hedging? Through future and options. What is future and options? It's a derivative contract. So if you think the prices of ICICI Bank share is going to come down in coming days, in coming months, you will go and buy a put option, or you will short, or you will sell the future of ICICI Bank. Similarly, you can do it in forex contracts, forex forward or future contracts, right? So if it is unhedged, then it will tantamount to unlimited loss for the bank. So to safeguard that, Reserve Bank of India has done some changes in the requirements of banks for holding the foreign currency. Banks should now require to assess the unhedged foreign currency exposures of all counterparties to whom they have an exposure in any currency going ahead. Banks will have to ascertain the foreign currency exposure of all entities at least once annually, the RBI said through the revised rules. The revised rules, though, expanded the scope of exemption, allowing banks to exclude exposures from factoring transactions from now on, apart from exposures arising out of derivative transactions. Banks shall determine the potential loss to an entity from unhedged foreign currency exposure using the largest annual volatility of the rupee dollar exchange rate in the last 10 years. Entities which do not hedge their foreign currency exposures can incur significant losses during the period of highlighted volatility in foreign exchange rates. These losses may reduce their capacity to serve their existing loans and existing customers. RBI said the potential loss from the entities UFC is more than 75%. Banks would need to provide of a 25 percentage increase in total risk weight over above the applicable risk weighted asset ratio. This is because the exposure falling in same bucket will have equal increase in their riskiness irrespective of the original risk weight applicability. Let me tell you that becomes confusing for you. So if they have not done hedging, hedging means entering into a counter transaction, counter operation. If you believe in financial market, share market, or the forex market, commodity market, you can either enter into long transactions or you can enter into short transactions. That is, we discussed in our introduction to capital market class last Sunday. Okay, so please you can refer that to understand what is long and what is short. So long means you buy the stock initially. First, you buy the stock and sell it in a later date. That means you are bullish on that very specific stock or very specific instrument, if it is a forex or if it is a commodity. That means if you are believing that the price is to appreciate further, like the share price of ICICI or share price of any other bank of SBI is 500 something today, the ICICI share closed at 904 today. So if you think by end of this month, by end of this November, the share price of ICICI will go up to 1000, you will buy the stock. Okay, or you will buy any derivative contract in long side. Long side means where you are bullish, where you think the price will go up. But if you think the price could go down to 800 due to certain conditions, due to certain microeconomic situations, what you would do, you will short ICICI. How you stock? You cannot sort a stock in the cash market. Cash market means directly paying the full amount to buy the stock. You can only sort a stock in an intraday trade, or you can sort a stock, you can sell a stock in future market or in options market. Sorting means first selling the stock and then buying it, right? So if you are bearish on the stock, what you will do, you will sell the stock first. If you sell the stock at 900 and you buy it in a future date at rupees 800, the profit you are going to get per share is rupees 100. So that is called hedging. If you have a portfolio of 1 lakh rupees you invested in a ICICI Bank stock, and you want and you think that the price could go down, and if the price goes down to rupees 100, you are going to lose something around 20,000. So you will do a counter operation, or you will enter into a counter position where in a short side, if you go for a derivative transaction, every 100 rupees lost you will gain rupees 1000, okay, or rupees similar amount to the original loss amount from your cash segment, right? So if banks have taken some forex transactions or have on exposure to forex transactions or foreign exchange currencies where they have not hedged the entire amount, that means if there is a depreciation in the currency price, banks are going to lose unlimited amount. If they have not done any such derivative transactions, then their risk weighted asset on that investment will go higher. You know, the RWA is not only calculated on asset side, it is always calculated in both asset and investment. Whatever you do, your portfolio carries certain amount of risk, whether it is an asset or an investment. ठीक है, बैंक के पास जो भी पैसे हैं तो लोन में दिया है, तो भी उसका रिस्क वेटेड एसेट होगा, एक अलग सर्टन परसेंटेज बैंक को अलग करके रखना होगा। अगर वो पैसा पूरा डूब जाता है तो बैंक इससे पैसा उठा के, ये रिजर्व फंड से पैसा उठा के अपना डे टू डे ऑपरेशन कर सके। अगर कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक ने शेयर मार्केट में किया है, तो अगर वेंचर कैपिटल में बैंक ने 1 लाख रुपया लगाया है तो उसको 1.5 लाख अपने रिजर्व फंड में रखना होता है, क्योंकि वेंचर कैपिटल के लिए जो रिस्क वेटेड एसेट है वो 150% है, 150%। यू विल अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दिस वंस यू गो थ्रू द बेसल क्लास। इज इट ओके टू यू? Okay, so this is the basic. Okay, so let's go to it. RBI amends regulatory framework for asset construction companies. So the Reserve Bank of India has amended the extant regulatory framework for asset reconstruction committees based on the stakeholders' feedback and recommendations from a committee to enable ARC's function in a more transparent and efficient manner. ARC is Asset Reconstruction Company, established under established under SARFAESI Act 2002. The Reserve Bank of India has now allowed asset reconstruction companies to act as resolution applicants under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. ARCs are currently prohibited from engaging in any business other than securitization, asset reconstruction, or activities listed in Section 10(1) of SARFAESI Act without RBI's prior clearance. However, to qualify resolution applicants, these companies are required to have minimum net owned fund at least 1000 crore. They should have the board approved policy for taking up the role of a resolution applicant. In the case of a specific corporate insolvency process, ARCs can retain any significant influence or control after 5 years from the date of approval of the resolution plan, make more disclosure with respect to the assets they have acquired under IBC, among other conditions. Okay. Yes. So what you understand from this, the RBI has allowed ARCs to act as a resolution applicant under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, IBC. So now the asset reconstruction company can participate in the insolvency resolution process, and they can become the resolution applicant in order to provide effective resolution. So the ARCs, the minimum net worth for ARCs is 500 crores, but the ARCs that are looking to be a resolution applicant, they should have minimum net worth of 1000 crore, and the other conditions apply. ARCs will be transferring funds invest in the security receipt at a minimum of either 15% of the transferor's investment in the SRs, or 2.5% of the SRs security receipts that are issued, whichever is higher, on an ongoing basis. The management fee of incentives which are charged towards the reconstruction of securitization activity can now only come from the recovery affected from the underlying financial assets. There are several changes with respect to governance, where, for instance, the chair of the board will have to be an independent director. So these are the list. You don't need to go through that detail. Okay, RBI raised the minimum capital requirement for setting up an ARC from 300 crore from the existing rupees 100 crore, with an aim to strengthen the securitization sector, which plays a vital role in management of distressed assets. So the minimum capital requirement is 300 crore. Earlier it was 100 crore. The existing ARCs have been given a glide path to meet minimum net owned fund requirement by April 2026. ARCs are nowadays very important when the retail assets, when the NPAs are very high. So consequently, ARCs obtain the certificate of registration on or after the date of this circular shall not commence the business of securitization without having minimum NOF of 300 crore. Those who are already started their business at 100 crore need to meet the criteria of 300 crore by April 2026, but those who have not yet started their operation should have to arrange at least 300 crore first. ARCs shall continue an audit committee of the board, which shall comprise of non-executive directors. Only the chair of the board shall not be a member of the audit committee. The audit committee shall meet at least once in a quarter with a quorum of 3 members. Transition period: ARCs that currently do not comply with RBI guidelines are required to comply with these guidelines within 6 months from the date of announcement. RBI expands the scope of standalone primary dealers to offer all foreign exchange market making facilities. Standalone primary dealers means the organizations, the NBFCs that only deal with foreign exchange. So the central bank also decided to permit SPDs to take up trading and self-clearing membership with SEBI approved stock exchanges, clearing corporations for undertaking proprietary transactions in equity and equity derivative market. So standalone primary dealers were having the minimum work of doing of transacting in foreign exchange market, issuing forex cards, issuing travelers check, etc. Now they are permitted to do trading and clearing with a view to strengthen the role of the SPDs, means standalone primary dealers, as a market maker on at par with banks operating a primary dealer business. RBI has decided to enable all type of services in foreign exchange market to SPDs, especially they will be allowed to be part of trading operations, means they can buy and sell securities and be part of the clearing corporation. Okay. So report to CCIL. CCIL is the Clearing Corporation of India Limited. The clearing of the government securities, etc., are done by CCIL, Clearing Corporation of India Limited. The central bank also said that with effect from January 1st, 2023, all financial transactions involving in the rupee undertaken globally by related entities of the SPDs will have to be reported to CCIL's trade repository before 12 noon of the business day, allowing the date of transaction. Currently, there are 7 standalone primary dealers: Goldman Sachs, ICICI Securities, Nomura, Morgan Stanley, PNB Gilt, SBI, DHFI, STCI. The guidelines come after RBI observed that the agents employed by reporting entities, have been deviating from the extant instructions governing the outsourcing and financial services. Taking into account certain recent developments, including growing incidents of unacceptable practices followed by the reporting agents, RBI advised that the RIs shall strictly ensure that their agents do not resort to intimidation or harassment of any kind, either verbal or physical, against any person in their debt collection efforts. So now RBI is stricter. In last month, there was also a circular on that. So the agents, the recovery agents, RMs, the recovery agents of a bank or NBFC should not call anyone before 8 a.m., after 7 p.m., and should not disturb the people, don't intimidate them, etc. Okay, don't assault them physically, orally, and don't send them social media messages, etc., and don't harass them publicly. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. RBI links banks' risk weight for corporate and NBFC's exposure. RBI said its instruction on risk weights or exposures to corporate NBFCs will be effective from March 31st, 2023. Naresh is saying, if you are not satisfied, can we refund the fee? You are now you have joined India's only dedicated banking lateral entry platform. Do your research, because we have very less time. We have time to devote to our student. Do your own research. We produce 85% of results in this segment. So do your research. Join only if you find us the best in India. I always say, join the platform which is the best, and we are the only platform which have 100% focus on lateral entry and promotional exams. We are specialized in this segment. There is no other platform in India which is working in this segment. They are working in PO and clerk segment as a part-time basis. They run this. They don't run specific focused classes on this. We are the only platform to run live classes till the end. They are just put out the earlier recording or the study materials that are of PO and clerk level, because they don't have exposure to banking. Non-bankers generally teach in these segments, and this results in with 0% rate. If you go and see the result day video, there is nobody will come out on result day to announce their victory. We are the only platform to come out on the result day whenever the result is being announced, and we celebrate our success. On that day, nobody comes up because they have nothing to show as a result in this segment. They do wonders in PO and clerk level, but they struggle in scale 2, scale 3, and senior levels in lateral entry segment, because banking comes into play. Exposure to banking comes into play. Yes. Let's move to the class. Banks cannot recon the bank loan rating given by external credit assessment institutions to corporates and NBFCs if the rating disclosure is not having particular quality of the lender's details. In such cases, banks will be required to apply risk weights of 100% or 150% as applicable in terms of extant instruction. Okay, so now, as per the circular, RBI leaks banks risk weight for corporates and NBFC exposure. So when you have a corporate and NBFC exposure and you have not done any external credit assessment to that portfolio, you have to add 100% or 150% of risk weighted assets on that particular asset. What is risk weighted assets? Risk weighted assets are used to ascertain the minimum amount of capital that should be held by the NBFCs or the banks and other FIs for purpose of reducing the risk of insolvency. The capital requirements are determined on the basis of the assessment of risk for each type of bank asset. What is ECAI? ECAI stands for External Credit Assessment Institutions, which is credit rating agency whose credit assessment rating are eligible to be used by the regulated banks for the purpose of calculating the credit risk exposure to check capital adequacy. Long-term claims on corporate NBFCs excluding CICs, domestic agencies, AAA rating, risk weight 20%, AA rating 30%, A rating 50%, triple B 100%, BB, these are the ratings 150%, and unrated 100% of risk weighted. Okay, so now time for MCQs. Okay, yes, Kumar Mangalam saying, sir, please continue. We know knowledge is very well. I have done research. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead. And here is the first MCQ on your screens. Here is the first MCQ on your screens. Okay. ठीक है, हाँ, जिन लोगों को कोर्स परचेज करने के बाद एक्सेस नहीं मिला है उनको मैसेज करना होगा, बिकॉज द एसबीआई सीबीओ एग्जाम इज ऑन, RRB interview batch is on, and today we have a cutoff of one batch, so hundreds of students are joining today. We have a limited IT team. They are adding everyone to group, and if you are not access, we have a certain way to access our content. So maybe you are not getting the actual content, so WhatsApp us, ping us. We are there to help you out. We need result, we mean result, we mean business only. Okay, and for us the business is to produce the highest result in India, which no one can compare. And I always say, the day someone produce 5% of our result, we will stop teaching, because I have so many good things to do. Yes, so what is it? To enhance the effectiveness of its grievances redressal system, the RBI urged the CIC to appoint internal ombudsman by 1 April 2023. तो टाइम बहुत कम है उनके पास, ठीक है, 5 महीना ही है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. The Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021 of the Reserve Bank of India has been formed by combining how many earlier ombudsman schemes? 2, 3, 4 or none? I will show the answers here. Yes. Yes. बताइए. 3, 4 बहुत डाउट हो रहा है, बहुत लोगों में डाउट है. क्यों? ऐसा तो होना नहीं चाहिए. नॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स को तो कंफ्यूज नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि मैंने इंटरनल ombudsman स्कीम इंटरनल क्लास में भी डिस्कस किया है, और अपना यूट्यूब में भी हमारा एक सेशन उसके ऊपर है. यह है 3. 3 क्या क्या है? PO Banking Ombudsman Scheme 2006, NBFC Ombudsman Scheme 2018, डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन ombudsman स्कीम 2019. ये तीनों को मिला के हुआ है इंटीग्रेटेड ombudsman स्कीम. ओके, the integrated banking ombudsman scheme covers the following regulated entities. बताइए. ऑल कमर्शियल बैंक्स एंड RRBs, scheduled primary cooperative bank, non-scheduled primary cooperative bank with deposit size of 50 crore and above, or all? Your answers, please. Don't confuse with integrated and internal ombudsman scheme. I'm telling you again and again. Okay, this is all. This is all. Thank you. Thank you. All of you are informed. The maximum compensation which a banking ombudsman can help a complainant to get is 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 1 lakh, or none of the above. 10, 21, and none of the above. Your answers, please. Your answers, please. We are trying to finish this class by 10 so that you can attend our internal regular banking session with Praveen sir. जो लोग नए जुड़े हैं, सेशन को लाइक करिए. अपने इंटरनल प्रमोशन ग्रुप्स, आरबीआई के ग्रुप्स, जो आरबीआई के एम्प्लॉइज भी देख रहे हैं इसे, एसबीआई सीबीओ के एस्पिरेंट्स जो भी देख रहे हैं, please share it. By sharing knowledge, you will get it. We have made our most popular segment, RBI Circular Gist, free till now, only because of you provide us good amount of love and support. It is 20 lakhs. Okay. The IO scheme. has done away with the jurisdiction of each ombudsman office. There are 21 ombudsman offices earlier, physical offices, centers. The centralized receipt and processing center has been set up at which place for the receipt and initial processing of physical and email complaints in any language. Chandigarh, Mumbai, New Delhi, Lucknow. Kumaramangalam comes with the option first. Do share with the class. It will take some time, some amount of time. It will motivate us. Can do that. Okay. This one is one of our most popular segments. So that's why we're making it available for everyone. So I need your support. You share max. Month on month, the viewership is increasing. In some important months, 10,000, 12,000 plus views come in this very specific one. I need your support. Go ahead. Share it after this session. It is Chandigarh. It is Chandigarh. Right answer is Chandigarh. Very good. Next question. In exercise of the power conferred by which of the following acts and sections RBI has introduced the integrated ombudsman scheme? Section 35A of Banking Regulation Act, 45A of RBI Act, Section 18 of the Payment and Settlement Act, or all of the above? Your answers, please. I know few people will get confused. I know few people will get confused. बहुत सारे लोग ए बोल रहे हैं, कुछ लोग बी बोल रहे हैं, अंबाती श्रीनिवास डी बोल रहे हैं. टेल मी विच सेक्शन? 45 35 है, मुझे पता है क्योंकि आप लोग पुराने मेथड से, पुराने जो एमसीक्यू हो गए कहीं पे, वहां से प्रिपेयर कर रहे होंगे. याद रखिए, जो बैंकिंग ऑम्बड्समैन स्कीम था, द बैंकिंग ऑम्बड्समैन स्कीम अर्लियर, it was on section 35A, that is discontinued. The current ombudsman scheme's name is integrated ombudsman scheme 2021. So that was on 35A. This is a combination of three. So these three section come into play when the ombudsman scheme 2021 is launched. ठीक है? कंफ्यूज मुझे कंफ्यूज आपको करना नहीं था, मगर आजकल क्वेश्चन इसी तरह से आ रहे हैं. क्वेश्चन मेकर्स भी चालाक हो रहे हैं, तो पढ़ने वाले भी चालाक होने चाहिए. ठीक है, आगे रहिए, 2 कदम आगे रहिए. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन मेकर्स आर nowadays doing so much of experiment. We are also trying to match with them. So we have to increase our level. It is all of this. अगर खाली बैंकिंग ऑम्बड्समैन पूछा जाता, सेक्स फर्स्ट खाली एनबीएफसी ऑम्बड्समैन बी, डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन ऑम्बड्समैन सी. ओके. RBI introduced internal ombudsman scheme 2018 for scheduled commercial bank and it replaced what? It replaced what? CCSO, compliance officer, vigilance officer or not? Answer me. अनंत कुमार झा एक कंफ्यूजिंग वाला इमोजी दे रहे हैं. डोंट वरी. ठीक है, नॉन बता रहे हैं. नहीं, यह है चीफ कस्टमर सर्विस ऑफिसर को रिप्लेस किया है. इंटीग्रेटेड ऑम्बड्समैन के पहले जो व्यक्ति इंटरनल बैंक के इंटरनल ग्रीवेंसेस को एड्रेस करता था, उसको सीसीएसओ बोलते थे. द मैन हु वाज रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर एड्रेसिंग बैंक्स इंटरनल ग्रीवेंसेस was named as CCSO. So the scheme of internal ombudsman replaced the CCSO. Clear? Clear? Very good. The upper age limit for internal ombudsman is 60, 65, 70 or no such limit. What is the age limit? What is the age limit? 60, 65, 70. 58 भी रख लेते तो और कंफ्यूजिंग हो जाता. आपके रिटायरमेंट के एज 58 नहीं, ये 70 है. सी है, जिन लोगों ने सी बोला है राइट. सी इज राइट आंसर. हु कैन बी एन इंटरनल ऑम्बड्समैन? Not below DGM rank, shall not worked with the bank, can be a retired banker, or all of these. इनमें से कौन सा इंटरनल ऑम्बड्समैन बनने के लायक हैं? Who among the following is eligible to be appointed as an internal ombudsman by a bank? Yes, it is all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your grasping power is very high. So, in any case, what could be the maximum possible award an integrated ombudsman can pass? 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 21 lakh, 25 lakh. अभी इसका बताइए, हाँ डी हो गया प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन का आंसर। इसका बताइए, एट एनी केस, सारे सिचुएशन को कंसिडर करिए और मुझे बताइए कितना मैक्सिमम मिल सकता है। मैक्सिमम एट एनी केस, ये एनी केस क्यों लिखा गया है? So I will give a good amount of thanks to Ambati Srinivas. Kudos to Ambati Srinivas. Again, Bhavin Jasin 21. Very good. Very good. 20 lakh for hour of that loss that you have incurred by that certain action. But 1 lakh is paid to you on the grounds of compensation for the loss of your time, for the mental agony that you have gone through by this dispute. So at any given point of time, it could be 21 lakhs. Okay? Clear? मैं बोल रहा हूं बार बार, I will not let the question maker to be more cunning than us. We will open our eyes, we'll open our ears to get the right answer. ठीक है, आजकल इस तरह से क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं. So we are also improving. Which of the following is the credit information company? Is the credit information? Which of the following is the credit information company? ठीक है, यहाँ पे कंफ्यूजन है, मुझे लगता है कि आईटी ने कुछ गोलमाल कर दिया है. ठीक है, तो विच इज नॉट होना चाहिए था, राइट. इट शुड बी विच इज नॉट ए क्रेडिट इंफॉर्मेशन कंपनी, विच इज नॉट ए क्रेडिट इंफॉर्मेशन कंपनी, राइट. तो आई विल चेंज क्वेश्चन आंसर. ओके, पोस्ट द क्लास बिफोर द पीडीएफ टू बी शेयर्ड, मैं चेंज कर लूंगा. ठीक है, तो RBI introduced the internal ombudsman mechanism for CIC. Every CIC shall appoint internal ombudsman for a fixed term not less than how many years, but not exceeding how many years. Minimum 3, maximum 5, minimum 5, maximum 7, minimum 2, maximum 3, minimum 3, maximum 6. बताइए, ये एप्लीकेबल है बैंकिंग इंटरनल ऑम्बड्समैन के लिए भी. So it is, will not confuse you. Time is flying by. You have the next class to attend internally. So it is 3 and 5. It is for every internal ombudsman. Okay. So RBI on its circular dated this notified that the amount received by bank from the NCGTC towards the claim in respect of guarantees will not be calculated for the computation of SLR only, CRR only, both CLR and SLR. None. Yes, all of you put the right answer. Yes, both CLR, SLR, and CRR. Okay, next. Currently, there are 9 credit guarantee trust funds under the trustee and management of NCGTC. Which of the following is not managed by NCGTC? Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, Credit Guarantee Scheme for MFIs, Credit Guarantee Scheme for Agri Loans, Credit Guarantee Fund for Micro Units, and Credit Guarantee Fund for Education Loans. बाकी 3 है A, B, D. C is not the right answer. Okay, C is not the right answer. There is no such only agri scheme run by NCGTC. Clear? Yes. I am in little hurry, so we'll go ahead. Banks will have to ascertain the foreign currency exposure of all entities at least annually. By adding the revised rules will be effective from 1st February, 1st January, 31st March, December 31st, 2023. It is 1st of January 2023 in the beginning of the calendar year. Okay. So RBI has now allowed the asset reconstruction company to act as resolution applicants or IBC. To qualify to be a resolution applicant, the minimum net owned fund should be at least 300 crores, 1000 crore, 8000 crore. Answer. इस तरह के दमदार एमसीक्यूज कहीं और डिस्कस हो नहीं रहा. I think you will find it out the difference. So please share it with all your friends preparing in your internal groups. It will help everyone. Okay, and those who qualify will give you blessings. So do it, and you motivate us so that in every month on month we come up with this class with so much of participation from 300 crore for normal ARCs. To be a resolution applicant, you need to have 1000 crore. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, filling ocean blocks He is giving us some good smileys. Thank you. RBI also raised the minimum capital requirement for setting up ARC from 100 crore to, we told the answer earlier, 100 crore to 300 crores. Those who are still having 100 crores have to meet the 300 crore criteria by April 2026. Next question. RBI raised the minimum capital requirement. Yes, I told the answer of 100 crore to 300 crore. To meet this criteria, you should meet this criteria by April 2026. Clear? Very good. Currently, there are 7 standalone primary dealers. Which of the following is not a SPD? Which of the following is not a SPD? Goldman Sachs, ICICI Securities, Morgan Stanley, HDFC AMC. So HDFC AMC is the asset management company, that is the mutual fund wing. So it is not there a SPDC. SPD. The long-term claims on corporate and NBFCs excluding CICs. What is the risk weight for BB and below? If there is a long-term claim from NBFC excluding the credit information companies, the risk weight will be 150 percentage for BB and below. BB and below rating. It is a rating. BB is rating. Okay. Yes, banks cannot recon their bank loan rating given by ECAIs to corporate that NBFCs if the rating disclosure is not having particular quality of the lender's details. In such cases, banks will be required to apply risk weights of 100 percentage or 150 percentage as applicable in terms of extant instructions. What is the full form of ECAI? ECAI, External Credit Assessment India, External Credit Assessment Institutions, external credit assign institutions, external civil assessment institutions. If you have a limit, if you have so much of banking knowledge, if you have gone through all our classes, you will be in a very good position to eliminate. I will tell you how easy it is, even if you don't know the full form. External civil assessment. What could be the civil? We call credit information company as civil, like we call surf to the detergent powders, but civil, there is no term could be civil. So D is excluded, eliminated. External credit assign institutions derives no meaning. Okay. External credit assessment institutions derives a value grammatically. External credit assessment India, it's also don't carry certain meaning. So without knowing the answer, I could say this A, C, D is not the right answer. Thus B is the right answer. आप लोगों को पीडीएफ मिल जाएगा. जिनको इंटरनल क्लास ज्वाइन करना है 10 बजे वाला, वो ज्वाइन कर लीजिए. ठीक है. The funding provided by the MLIs under credit guarantee scheme for MFIs shall be eligible for credit guarantee coverage by NCGTC up to what percentage of the amount in default? 25, 50, 75, 90. तो SMFI के केस में डिफॉल्ट होने पर एनसीजीटीसी कितने परसेंटेज का गारंटी देता है? So under the default, under the scheme of CGSMFI, if there is a default, so what will be the percentage of credit amount that is guaranteed by NCGTC? Your answers, please. Very good Anand, very good Swapnil, very good Kumar Mangalam, very good Rinki. बहुत सारे लोग एग्जिस्टिंग हैं तो आपको ज्ञान भी है. वेरी गुड. 75% is the right answer. The tenor of loans extended by the MLIs and NBFC MFIs would be need based for assessment. However, the tenor of NCGTC guaranteed loan would be for maximum period of 1 year, 5 year, 7 year or 10 year. क्वेश्चन आजकल इससे भी लेंदी आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो इसलिए आजकल हमारे एमसीक्यू भी लेंदी होते जा रहे हैं. नहीं, 7 ईयर नहीं है, 5 ईयर है. 5 ईयर. ठीक है. ये नॉर्मल टर्म लोन ऊपर के ऊपर ही ज्यादातर एनसीजीटीसी के लोन होते हैं, और नॉर्मल टर्म लोन तो 5 साल के लिए ही होता है. ठीक है, इस हिसाब से आप इसको याद करिए. तो क्रेडिट गारंटी स्कीम, दी अंडर CGSMFI scheme, the guaranteed amount shall be paid within how many days by NCGTC to the MLI on invocation of the guarantee or submission of the claim. MLI मतलब member lending institution. ओके. हाँ, इसी एलजीसी का भी 5 साल होता है. ठीक है, कितने दिन का होता है? एनपीए होने पर, रिकवरी ना होने पर मिलता है. आप क्लेम करेंगे एनसीजीटीसी को, तो जब क्लेम सबमिशन होगा उसके कितने दिन के अंदर आपको एनसीजीटीसी पैसा दे देगा. आपको मतलब मेंबर लेंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन को, जो फाइनेंशियल कंपनी, जो एनबीएफसी, जो बैंक एनसीजीटीसी का मेंबर है, उसको बोलेंगे एमएलआई, मेंबर लेंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ एनसीजीटीसी. Jitendra, you join the first class because it is going. Don't get confused. Time is precious. That's why we are running two classes. The 10 p.m. class has started. That is an internal class. You join that. This class PDF will be shared. This class is about to end. We started 10 minutes late due to technical glitch. You need to understand. Technical glitch happens with Twitter. It happens with WhatsApp. It happens with everyone in the mother earth. Okay. So for technical glitch, we ran this class 10 minutes late. You should be patient enough. When you are getting the best things, you need to showcase patience. Best things come with strings attached. So when we come up with so many good content, it takes time. Okay, and we personally revisit every MCQ, so it takes time. Okay, so you attend that. This MCQ, this class is about to end. So we have given an instruction. Join the regular class. This class PDF will be shared in the group. Okay. Under credit guarantee scheme for Stand Up India, for credit facility above 10 lakhs up to rupees 550 lakhs, the NCGTC shall provide guarantee cover to the extent of what percentage of the amount in default, subject to maximum of rupees dash 75 percentage or 40 lakhs, 75 percentage 50 lakh, 80 percentage 50 lakh, 80 percentage 40 lakh. Okay, so many people quit. So then that is called, we don't want viewership. People join, people take the class. We want people to take advantage. Okay. Yes. It is 80 percentage and rupees 40 lakhs. Okay. Next, if it is above 50 lakh and below 100 lakh, what is the amount? What is the amount? If it is above 50 and below 100 lakh, what is the amount? It will be 50 percentage and maximum 65 lakhs. Clear? Yes. For purchase of bonds, commercial papers, under the partial credit guarantee scheme, individual public sector banks may buy up to what percentage of their total non SLR bond holding through this route? So, this is a new MCQ for you, right? Because we are having this discussion of NCGTC and SLR, so we put it something no, not directly related under SLR. So partial credit guarantee scheme we never discussed in internal class because it was an update in 2019. But we thought that nowadays the question makers are experimenting, so you should know to purchase the CPs or bonds, commercial papers, and bonds from NBFCs. There is a special credit guarantee given by the government of India. So, if you buy the bonds and CPs under this credit guarantee scheme, partial credit guarantee scheme, up to certain amount of your SLR will be protected. So, what is that percentage? That percentage is 20 percentage. And I told you under bonus content, we will tell you about partial credit guarantee scheme 2.0. Thus, I don't feel that it will be applicable for your SBI CBO exam, but anything can happen nowadays on exam point of view, and maybe it is a good question for internal promotions. So you please look into it. So under Atmanirbhar scheme, so as it is a hot topic till now. So under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the government has announced the partial credit guarantee scheme 2.0, under which government has allowed the banks to buy the bonds and commercial papers from the non-banking financial companies in order to boost their liquidity concerns, in order to give them enough assistance under liquidity arrangement schemes. Okay, because you know that the 2019 and 20 there are so much of crisis, like IL and FS, there are asset liability mismatch in the books of NBFCs. So if banks buy their bonds or their commercial papers up to 20 percentage of SLR, from 20% of from their SLR amount, up to 20 percentage will be guaranteed by them, because they are allowed under the scheme to buy the bonds which are having rating below double A. So when you buy products or instruments having rating below double A, they are highly risky. So to buy these risky products or to acquire these risky products, banks need a guarantee, and that guarantee is that up to 20% of SLR amount is guaranteed. Okay, it will be secured. Clear? So there is nothing on it. So it is launched in 2019. So don't need to go through it. I hope this session is mostly useful for our exam aspirants. I wish all of you to get success in your upcoming exams. Okay. Any issue, anything, you can ping us. Our team is running busy only because of you people are pouring too much of love, too much of support to us, and there are hundreds of people who are joining our various courses, content. So we have limited access to everything. Okay. Yes, it will be provided in the class. So don't worry, don't panic. We are here with you, and we are here for the selection. We are here for the result. And I only mean result. If there is no result, there is no meaning of taking so much of hard work, taking so many of classes to go through so much of content, to simplify contents, to handpick the questions for you. Okay. So thank you, Kumar Mangalam. I love your kind words, what you were telling at the end. With that note, best channel, best content. Thank you, sir. With your such meaningful note, we end this session. Those who want to join our exclusive class of SBI CBO, the link is there in the description. Do join, post the registration. You can ping us to be added to the enrolled group for quicker access of the content, etc. Thanking you all again for your love, support, and time. Let's meet in inside Knowledgist or the other side of Knowledgist. The additional class is going on. Many of internal students joined it. So thank you again for your love and support. Thank you.